Welcome back to Mostly Superheroes here in the basement, St. Louis, Missouri. I'm your host, Logan Janis, here with another really special community interview with somebody that's big time and has been doing this for a while. If you like movies, if you like food, this podcast episode is for you. We're so excited to welcome to the podcast studio here in St. Louis, Chef Liz Schuster from at Tenacious_Eats on Instagram. Tenacious Eats, welcome. Huge applause right now in our ear holes. Big applause.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate that build-up. How, I'm like, wait, that's me
You're the
talking
star.
about. Yeah.
Yes, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. This is one of those moments where I am familiar with you a lot from you being on the news, seeing you on Fox 2. We're friends with Brad and STL. I love Brennan's Work and Leisure. Like, these are spots that I go to. And then learning more about what you do with, I think I saw an interview with you where you said, it's more than a pop-up bar. That's what it's like. Not a pop-up bar. It's an experience with an amazing menu connected to the movies we love for a really unique experience for people to come out and have a good time. And you've been doing this now for 13 years.
13 years. I actually just did the math when we were walking in together. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is lucky 13. So yeah, I can't believe it. And when instead of a pop-up, I want people to be immersed. I'm a huge fan. I'm a big movie geek. I'm a nerd. I want to live in the storyline. I want to experience it. So that's what I want to share with my guests, with the menu, with the drinks, with the film, even with the live music that we have for our shows. I want it. I want. It's a very selfish thing too, because I want to experience that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard you say before, like if I want to design an event that I would want to go to. And we call ourselves professional fans on this show because we're fans, but we try to get this stuff a little organized and do something that you can say, like, this would be fun for people. This would be fun for us. And we definitely have some crossover that we're going to talk about for sure. Like, we've invented a movie event called the Screen and Social. And the tagline is the extended movie experience. Like, why do I count down for 2 years to a movie like Captain America, Brave New World? And then I go see it for 2.5 hours. No one talks to me before, no one after. Maybe I tweet something and it's over. We're trying to extend that and make it something that you can celebrate and last over time. I mean, I just want to highlight some of your events that you've done in the past because you've done connections to The Nightmare Before Christmas,
we had so much fun.
The Big Lebowski, The Wedding Singer, Labyrinth, Pulp Fiction. And we can talk about any one of these, but just to give someone that might be a little new to this, explain how you talk about Tenacious Eats here in 2025 after doing it for 13 years. What is it?
Tenacious Eats is an opportunity, just like you were talking about, to celebrate one of our favorite movies that we really want to revisit. And like, it could be an older film. Like, I just did a showing of Gremlins. Okay.
Yes, I saw that spot on Fox 2 when you were with Tim Azell on there. That looked like so much fun.
It's an excuse to let my 12-year-old brain have fun. Mm-hmm. And I want to give that experience to the people who come to our shows. So, or even if you were 12 years old and when you saw it originally in the theater, or if you're, 20, 21, 22 now, and you're seeing it for the first time. I want people to actually be immersed in the media instead of just, going to a theater, sitting down at home, putting it on demand, you watch it in your living room. I want it to be a festival, an experience. I'd say we're almost like a circus. There's something going on constantly. We have James Enstall as our MC from Geek to Me Radio. So he's constantly challenging our audience with all kinds of fun trivia about the film, about how it was made, or even the time period.
Very cool. That is so fun. We've done some Marvel trivia nights at Four Hands Brewing Company. We love doing that, like custom bingo. We did bingo trivia actually. It was a custom bingo trivia night. So I love Geek to Me Radio. We've sourced them on the show a lot. So it sounds like you have cool friends, and then Work and Leisure seems like they've been a great partner to throw this. And I also want to dig deeper for the people like. For our MCU trivia bingo, we were like the cop-out version of what you do, Liz. Like we did.
Say cop-out? That sounds like fun.
It was fun. Yeah, right. It sounds fun. We did a special cocktail menu for the night with some really fun names, and it was great. What you do is so much deeper than that. You have a background. You're Chef Liz. You're Chef Liz Schuster. Your family, I believe, has a background in the restaurant or cooking industry. Is that right?
That's correct. My dad's family owned, for older folks out there, Gen X and older. You might remember Hebner's Bakery. It was in South St. Louis. It was on the corner of Lee Mayfair and Fannie Avenue. I think it's an RV lot now. But I grew up around um, what, three generations of bakers and artisans, and no one was a trained chef. But it's a extended German family, and so I grew up with everything was about food. So finances were about food, right? Happiness was about food. Sadness, mourning, recuperating, healing, celebrating, everything evolved around food. So I didn't think that that was going to be what I was going to do for a living, but I did think it was a really big part of my life. I ended up going to film school at
Right, in Chicago?
in Chicago at Columbia, and I loved it. I have always been, I got this from my dad too, a film addict. Like, I will seriously watch, rewatch, watch again
Yeah.
a film to kind of like, I want that feeling I got the first time I saw it.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, chasing that dragon.
Chasing the dragon, trying to understand the character, or picking up on other details that maybe I thought, okay, I don't understand this connection, or I don't understand why this happened. So really wanting to absorb film, that's why I got into film school. So at this point now, fast forward to when I started Tenacious Eats, I thought, every time I watch a movie and there's food involved, and even when there isn't, I really want to be in it. I want to, like you're talking about extending the experience, I want to wade around in it
Hmm.
and really celebrate it instead of just going, 90-minute film starts, ends, walk away. Okay, what, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're talking to why we've created this show.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's hard
Yeah.
I gotta bite my tongue and like let you fan out because like I'm fanning out for sure. Like I understand exactly what you mean.
Yeah, like I want to explore it, and I want to share that experience with people who are like-minded, who
Yeah.
really want to really celebrate film. And so I started watching movies, and I wanted to, like, if it was a film that had food in it, I wanted to have that food in that moment. But, I think one of the first films I was watching, I think it was a film called Eat, Drink, Man, Woman. And it's pure food porn from beginning to end. And I went out and got Chinese food, came back, but that wasn't what I saw on the screen. So it didn't satiate that need to have what I saw prepared.
Hmm.
So at the time, I was the executive chef at the Scottish Arms.
Nice. Great
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, it closed
Yeah.
recently. But Allie, the
Right.
owner, sweet Allie, gave me my first opportunity to try this.
Those are special.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, but I just want people to get that that immediate like tingle, like when you're really excited about a movie and you're in love with it. Even during the credits, you get excited, right? Because
Oh yeah.
you you get that wonderful return feeling just from the film starting.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to give to my guests.
And so when people are hanging out at one of your events, it is like a full takeover. You're showing the movie. The movie's there. You have this amazing menu that you whip up, and it just looks. The food looks absolutely mouthwatering, fantastic, and
Oh, thank
and
you.
then fun things like trivia and things mixed in. That's kind of just a whole themed event. You bring it all, including the movie. You're watching stuff and TV.
And sometimes, I mean, I don't like to give a lot away
Mm,
because I feel like especially in this day and age, everybody wants all the exact details. They're going to want to know exactly what's going to happen.
yeah.
We do have a format to how we present our films, but we do weird things that are surprises. I'll give you an example. When we did Beetlejuice, the original Beetlejuice, we hired the St. Louis Flash Mob. So during the whole dance scene where they're possessed and they're dancing around with their napkins, and the big tiger prawn jumps up and grabs her face. Um, in the dark, we had the St. Louis Flash Mob who were dressed all in black and white. They had the little napkins. They came in and they filed in around our guests. And my guests were like kind of annoyed. They were looking like,
What's
who
happening?
the hell is this? there's somebody standing near me, and they were kind of feeling uncomfortable until they started to dance.
That's great. They were feeling
Yeah,
uncomfortable because there was something unexpected and there's a surprise around the corner. We
exactly.
understand that too. Like that is you got to bring it on events nowadays. You got to like bring it. Like everybody's expecting like a big surprise or like you said, keep some stuff close to the vest. I can see that theme throughout the events as they escalate. So I definitely hear you. I'm a rewatcher. Like I rewatch stuff. I get that special feeling. You've done Pulp Fiction, like The Wedding Singer. That's one of my wife Carrie. That's one of her favorite movies. Like you do I've seen people do cosplay and dress up,
Hmm.
and it's like this whole fun experience. And I guess you're counting down to a couple events coming up, so it's like you're always kind of evolving and changing up. You've done stuff with the local improv group.
We're actually working with the improv, St. Louis Improv, to do it's kind of a new concept called reception, the
Right.
reception. And
Yes.
we're going to do that for Valentine's Day and the day after. Um, I'm going to serve up a kind of a normal plated Valentine's dinner, but it's Tenacious Eats version. It's super amped up. It's
And
not
this
normal
is
wedding food.
and starting with like the when and where, this is going to be Brennan's Work and Leisure again, February 14th and 15th,
Correct.
and it's the reception. So yeah, I said we got it pulled up here on our screen here, a visual. Yeah, what can people expect? This sounds like a great opportunity for a amazing Valentine's Day experience.
If you've ever been to a wedding in St. Louis or even outside St. Louis, think of all the obnoxious things that happen at normal weddings. We're just bringing that into one experience. But in this situation, you could laugh out loud at these people.
Right.
The whole bridal party, they're all part of the improv shop. So there's no script. We do have a skeleton of certain things that we want to happen at certain times. But Raven from Work and Leisure, she actually worked with us with Tenacious Eats before.
On
Sh
Gremlins.
Yeah, well, no,
All right. I thought I saw her on the news with you. Maybe it wasn't Gremlins.
well, even before that,
Oh.
before she was with Work and Leisure,
Oh.
she worked with us with Tenacious Eats. She pulled me kind of out of. I was doing R&D for a big ice cream company here in St. Louis for 4 years during COVID, and she kind of pulled me out of. We had stopped doing shows because for some reason people didn't want to get together in groups of 100 or more. I don't know why.
Right. Yeah. Even with the mask, it was like,
Yeah.
different
Haha,
time. Different
haha.
time.
Yeah, haha. But now that we're post pandemic, she was like, Liz, let's do this again. Let's have some fun. So, um, Raven comes up with the most amazing cocktails. She understands kind of how my brain works, and she is willing to go down the road to crazy town. So this is her whole concept that she came up with. So I can't take credit for it at all.
Nice. Yeah.
This is her idea. She actually she mentioned this to me like 7 years ago that she wanted to work on this. So
Nice.
this is a long time coming, but we were talking about really funny stuff that we've observed at other weddings. I'm always amused, like
Yeah,
my
for sure. I just got married in September and we didn't
oh
do all those things. And people were like, "Where's the dollar dance?" I don't know if you did that. That's like I was in Bonne Terre growing up, so we had dollar
yeah, the
dance.
dollar dance, the duck dance, or the
The feeding
chicken
cake,
dance.
feeding
Yeah,
cake.
feeding cake, the mascacholi,
Shout.
shout,
I love Wedding Crashers. That's a throwback.
oh yeah. And I mean, you could almost predict things like I guess I could say this. My husband and I will go to wedding receptions and we have bets on how long it takes before the maid of honor starts to cry during her speech.
Yes.
And
I always love the speeches against each other too.
oh man, you get like the best man who gets up to the mic and just starts to kind of cough into it or you know what I mean?
Yes.
Chugs the beer, looks down at some scribbled notes.
Yes.
And
I was at a restaurant. I won't even say which one. I don't want to embarrass this guy if he listens. Like I heard a guy give a speech to it was the rehearsal dinner, and it was just what you described, just a little like, and he had his phone, and he was like, "Brennan, you just always been like a brother to me."
That's always it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we could place bets like
Right.
how quick are they going to say you're like a sister to me, you're like a brother to me.
And this is great because it's not any one person's wedding. We can all laugh together at the reception.
We've all been to this wedding.
Right.
We've all seen bad behavior. We've all seen bad ideas.
I love it.
So, but we're giving our guests the opportunity to A, enjoy themselves, but B, laugh at it.
Yeah.
And laugh hard because we've all experienced this before.
Yeah.
Maybe more than others. But we really want to have fun with this. And I know Raven and I were talking and we decided not to go with a script because we didn't want it to be dinner theater.
Right. Yes. And it would feel rudimentary, like you're doing 1, 2, 3, like instead of just like, oh, this can happen now, or like it feels right. I think you're right on that. That gives the little spontaneity of the night. In between laughing and the improv and stuff, you also are being served a really great dinner and drinks. So like you got like I'm sure it's like a whole package deal type thing. Like you're coming for a night of a lot of fun.
And we don't know what's going to happen. We have a skeleton of a timeline, just like a normal wedding reception. And the very talented crew from the improv shop know who they are. They know their stories. They know exactly, you know what I mean, why they're there, their relationships. But we don't know exactly what's going to happen. And I'm so excited about that part because I love the anticipation of something, chaotic happening. And I mean, we are making a real wedding cake.
Oh, wow.
For our guests to enjoy. And I promise that what will be out on the floor is not what our guests will be eating.
Okay. It makes sense. There's
Does that make sense?
there's a show and there's dinner. Like
Yeah.
you have a little bit of both. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's February 14th and 15th, right
Correct.
around the corner. Get your tickets. How do they get tickets to that one?
If they go to Eventbrite or they can go to workandleisurestl.com.
Okay. And then a TV favorite, definitely in this household, The Office. You talk about a good old rewatch for comfort. Like, so, like we go in and out of it. It's just like Lost. You watch it like every year or so.
Yeah.
And The Office, man, Saturday, March 22nd, again at Work and Leisure. What's happening with you got an Office themed Tenacious Eats event?
We're going to be showing 2 episodes of The Office that our fans voted on.
Oh, Office Olympics.
Yes.
And Niagara Part 2. Yeah, these are awesome episodes. You got like the funny and the heart, like right there.
And they're kind of not at the very beginning.
Yeah.
But it's getting kind of close to the beginning of the series. And we're celebrating the 20th anniversary of the show. So we thought I was really excited when they voted on those because those are also episodes where all of the cast is present or a majority of the original cast, the Niagara, the wedding one.
Yeah.
So we're going to have Office Olympics and we will have the medals made from Yoplait labels and paper clips.
Yes.
We're going to have the Dundies. We're going to give away those awards for special people in the audience. And not only do, like we were talking about before, wearing costumes, we don't just encourage it, we reward it. So we'll be giving away awards to like Dwight Schrute lookalike contest, who probably will get a huge basket of beets. or what was it? What was it? Pork belly, beets, and I can't remember what else was in the basket for the intern.
And for Kevin, you could give him a big pot of chili.
Well, we are going to be doing...
You probably have chili there, right? That's part of the menu?
It's part of the menu. First course is going to be Kevin's chili.
Yeah, I hope there's a little carpet in it.
Just a little bit of carpet.
If you want to be authentic.
Little fuzz on the top of
he put it right back in.
I every time I watch that, I'm like, oh my God.
Yes.
That's
it's funny that it hits every time. You got the Jell-O stapler, the sumo suit.
We're going to make people dig for prizes into Jell-O, and there'll be a stapler or two, but we'll have other prizes in the Jell-O that they have to dig into. Because I think, how many times did Jim do that to Dwight? Like, I can't even remember.
At least a few.
Yeah.
It was at least a few.
And then we're going to have sumo suits available for 2 lucky guests to put on. And I can't give away what they'll be doing, actually. But I think, we're also doing 5 rounds of Office trivia.
Wonderful.
So we'll be giving away awards for that, too.
Is that the Geek to Me radio helping out with that again? Very nice.
James Enstall.
And then Dwight lookalike contests?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Dwight Schrute lookalike contest.
Because that's going to be, you have a lot of Dwights. I love that. That'll make it, that's funny. A lot of Dwights. It's like when Jim dressed up as Dwight.
I'm just waiting for all all the other characters because I'm sure we're gonna have like 10 Phyllises. We're gonna have all these, you know what I mean, the Stanleys, and I think that's gonna be so much fun. And I think I might even give something away for like best table because I'm sure people come in groups to this. So, and those tickets are going really fast. Those are at brownpapertickets.com.
Okay, brownpapertickets.com for the Office event Saturday, March 22nd with Tenacious Eats at Work and Leisure. That's in Midtown. That's a great spot. It's an awesome place you haven't been before. And then it looks totally different every time you're over there. It seems like they change it up, but it's a great space. It's so versatile. A great bar. And they seem like they're great to work with. I mean,
Oh,
you keep going.
I love Raven and Jordan. They've made it so easy. Jordan is amazing at setting up the media and they have 3 huge screens. So when we sit the room, they take care of all the tables and things that I had to do before.
Yeah.
They're just amazing, and her cocktails. Oh my goodness. This is such a hard part of what I do, but I have to try them and taste them. I couldn't keep a straight face. It's
I have to.
Oh darn.
Oh,
yeah.
twist my arm. Yeah, this is part of the process.
But we are 21 and up.
Right.
And I know there are a lot of movies that people are like, "Oh, my 16-year-old loves this movie," and
It's like a cocktail dinner event, though. It's a little
It
bit
is.
different than than a classic trivia night or something, right? It's different than that. It's a little more of a production, and there's drinks.
And when we did, oh gosh, when was this? A long time ago, we did Labyrinth. We worked with Bob Kramer's marionettes, and there was kind of some adult jokes that maybe wouldn't be appropriate for a 16-year-old.
Yeah. You could do like 18-year-old plus and then do like just a DD ticket or something. That would be like work for DDs and 18. Maybe there's something there.
We just want to be careful about,
Yes, I remember when I was 18 going to an event, like, serve it up.
18, I was like, I've been drinking for years. This is no big deal.
Same. Again, I grew up in Bonne Terre. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you even know where that is.
I know where Bonne Terre is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were drinking then too. Okay, so we'll keep it safe 21 up at these events. 2 big come up. And then now the last one I'll say is just like tease it out. What's summer camp? You did summer camp last year, I remember. I think you teamed up with Brad and STL. Can you talk a little bit about what's happening in 2025?
Well, last year we did a showing. We did a takeover one night. We did Wet Hot American Summer.
Right.
Which I laugh all the way through that film. I mean, I'm Gen Xer, so I love films like Meatballs, movies that were about going away to camp and all the hijinks that, happens, underage drinking, inappropriate behavior. So we did that. That was a lot of fun. And this year, Raven and Jordan have asked us to do the food for every single night of summer camp.
Oh, congrats. That's amazing.
So we're going to do our crazy version of summer camp food. So we're still working on the menu to make sure it's spot on, but we're going to be doing some different things. It's going to be a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So I'm excited.
Anything with like Jason in there? Like Jason went to a summer camp, right? Like that's his origin story. I don't know if you could do something.
You know what? We did a private showing of Friday the 13th.
Oh man.
Yeah, at someone's it was kind of like their country lodge kind of place. I mean, one of their friends dressed up as Jason to scare everyone.
Oh yeah.
Mid-show, I couldn't get them to come back to the table, to their tables, because they were just terrified.
That'll do it.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I'm thinking of all the movies that take place away at a summer camp. So I don't know if we're going to show a movie during summer camp, but that's a definite possibility.
Well, thank you for coming in and talking about your events that you've done. Congrats on everything you've done and all the stride that you're hitting. Doing multiple nights for certain events and just having multiple events throughout the year, and making it something that people are showing up for and having an experience and wanting to come back. I've seen a lot of your reviews online. People from all around St. Louis raving about this is the ultimate date night. It's the ultimate experience. If you love movies at all, even if you don't, you're always going to find something that you don't expect.
Hi, everyone. I'm interrupting this podcast to talk about another podcast. Hi, I'm Randy Naughton. You know that lady from TV for so many years? Well, I too have a podcast called More to Say with Randy Naughton. Interesting conversations with interesting people. And when I say interesting, I mean amazing people. What about the Mac Daddy of all sportscasters, Bob Costas? Phyllis from The Office. Phyllis Smith is her name. Alan Hunter, one of the original MTV VJs. We talk to people about medicine, about tech, about travel, you name it. Great conversations. Now, they're, again, not interviews, they're conversations. So you never know where they're going to take us. Make sure when you're done with this podcast, check mine out. It's called More to Say with Randy Naughton, available wherever you stream your podcast.
Hey squad, Logan here from Mostly Superheroes, wanting to talk to you today about some real life heroes. Team Jakey, headquartered here in St. Louis, Missouri. They're turning the tragedy of losing their beloved Jake Zeller into life-changing action. Not just by making a difference, but by saving lives. Team Jakey supports both the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention and Provident Behavioral Health here in St. Louis. Join us at their annual Gentleman Jake Memorial Cornhole Tournament. It's more than just a game. It's a community coming together to lift each other up with some of the world's best prizes. If you're feeling down or know someone who is, Team Jakey's here with a message of hope. Reach out by calling 988. You can also visit www.afsp.org or text TALK to 741-741. You're not alone, and there's always a way forward. Someone's waiting for your call or text message. Search for Team Jakey on Facebook and learn more at www.mostlysuperheroes.com/give. Every bit helps, and together, we can make a difference. Hey superhero fans, it's Logan here from Mostly Superheroes. To celebrate 40 years of Voltron, we've got something truly special for you. The Little People Collector Voltron 40th Anniversary Gold Label Set. This buildable set features the 5 original Defenders: Keith, Lance, Pidge, Hunk, and Princess Allura. Each figure comes with a helmet featuring a metallic finish and clear visors, except for Pidge, who needed room for his glasses. But that's not all. These Space Explorer figures are packaged in individual lions that you can assemble to form the mighty robot Voltron, ready to defend the universe from King Zarkon and his nasty Robeasts. Head to store.voltron.com, linked up in the description of this podcast episode, and snag yours today. You can get 15% off your order by using promo code MOSTLY at checkout. That's store.voltron.com, and remember to use promo code MOSTLY. When I'm looking to catch the latest flick or indulge in a film classic, there's no place like the Alamo Drafthouse Cinema at the City Foundry, St. Louis, Missouri. It's where cinema and comfort collide, with plush seats, state-of-the-art visuals, and a menu that's a blockbuster in its own right. For you movie buffs that can't get enough, check out the Alamo Season Pass. For just $19.99 a month, you can watch as many movies as you want, up to 1 per day. It's the ultimate ticket for those who live and breathe movies. That's not all. The Alamo Drafthouse is more than just movies. It's an experience, with events that celebrate film culture, trivia nights that test your movie knowledge, and a bar that's a tribute to cinematic absurdity. It's the ultimate hangout for anyone who loves a good story. You can also book the Alamo Drafthouse Cinema for your private events, birthdays, celebration, corporate events, or even staple events like our Screen and Social. So whether you're a diehard cinephile or just in for a good time, join me and the crew at 3765 Foundry Way in St. Louis, Missouri. Dive into their showtimes and events at www.drafthouse.com. And don't forget to tell them Mostly Superheroes sent you, because every movie night should be legendary. Hey squad, Logan here. You know what keeps our adventures fueled? The incredible brews from Four Hands Brewing Company. They've been our go-to craft brewery since 2012. Our studio fridge is always stocked with their finest, from Citywide Light to Incarnation to Divided Sky to Chocolate Milk Stout, along with the latest seasonal and small batch releases. Whether you're downtown, Kirkwood, the district in Chesterfield, or passing through St. Louis Lambert Airport, Four Hands has you covered. Grab a cold Citywide. Their philanthropic brew, created to give back to the St. Louis community. Since its launch in 2016, Citywide has raised over $300,000 for local nonprofits. For every case sold, $1 is donated to carefully selected charities. If you're in the mood for something different, check out Four Hands Extended Family 1220 Spirits and Withered Oak. They've got cocktails, seltzers, and non-alcoholic options to quench any thirst. And a special deal for you Mostly Superheroes fans. Mention Mostly Superheroes or the password MOSTLY to your bartender at any Four Hands location and you get your second beer free. Must be 21 years of age to redeem. Again, go to any Four Hands location, mention Mostly Superheroes, password MOSTLY, and get your second beer on us and Four Hands. Limited time promotion. Get it while supplies last. Visit them in person or head over to fourhandsbrewery.com. Follow them at Four Hands Brewing Co. on Instagram and social media. Cheers to great beers and even better times with Four Hands Brewing Company. And then I have like questions and ideas. I would love to work with you on any of the stuff that we see. Like we do all the superhero stuff, the Marvel movies. We also do like Mission Impossible movies, and we're 80s, and some of us are 80s, some of us are 90s, some of us are 70s. Even like we got a lot of a range of media and movies that we enjoy. And then I have questions around like licensing.
I pay for
like
it.
you pay for like to show things, like I don't, not to get too in the weeds, but
No, that I'm glad you brought that up because we've always paid for our licensing. Um, First of all, because I want to make sure that we're part of a craft, right? So what I'm doing is a craft, creating food and drinks and an event. I don't like the idea of someone stealing my craft, right? So I know when there's a film out, there's so many people involved. I think people think of a movie and they're like, well, that's just one actor. It's just George Clooney or whatever, and that's not going to affect him. It does. It affects the industry when people are showing films and shows without licensing because it costs a lot of money
right.
to do this. It costs a lot of money. You're affecting everybody, every member of that crew that participated in putting that film together.
And the solution I'm hearing is you pay for the licensing, you're good to go. You're everyone, people are getting paid for the right thing. You have the rights to show this. That is so cool. I mean, I think that's especially us, we think about that. We're gonna have to meet off air, and you can get me like a consulting hour or something for how to navigate that world, because like we're trying to have events where there's something up on the screen. We want to, and we want to do it right. We had the Marvel trivia, Marvel bingo trivia, and it was like, man, it'd be nice to have like Captain America on in the background, even on the background with, again, not getting too in the weeds. Kudos to you for figuring it out. And people can see this stuff, sit down and have a nice time. The Office is coming up March 22nd, and the reception February 14th and 15th. So this is it. Are you going to be showing anything at the reception, or will that be more wedding reception?
Wedding reception.
Right. Okay.
And I mean, we've done things with Opera Theater St. Louis. We've done events with the St. Louis Art Museum. We're, you know what I mean? We're not just film.
Not just the movies.
Yeah. I mean, we've done television shows. I've done Looney Tunes. We've done the Three Stooges. We did the Honeymooners. We've done all kinds of different mediums. So, you know what I mean? It doesn't just have to be film.
Yeah.
But we are working in so many ideas for this year. And I really encourage people, if you're listening, find us on social media, send me a DM about what you are dying to see. If we've already done it, we'll do it again. But we've done over 150 movies in 13 years.
Wow. Congratulations. There's applause happening for our fans. Well, I'm impressed, and it's too fun. It's like you're talking to the right person right now. This is I'm personally vested. You can find you at Tenacious_Eats. Is that the best place?
That's correct. Our website will be back up. My youngest son, Benjamin, told us that our website looked old and crusty. So he's redoing it for me. Thank you, Ben. And we'll have that back up really soon. That will be Tenacious Eats STL.com. So before we were TenaciousEats.com, now we're Tenacious Eats STL. So to be more specific. But when the younger children tell you something looks old and crusty, you're like, I'm ebb and flow. Well, okay, let's update it. We'll make it.
It looks great. You have a great brand. I love your logo. My wife's a designer, so
Oh.
I can say that, and it's very good. All right. How about a game? A quick game.
Sure.
What if the movie, what is coming out in July, Superman? Is it okay to pitch you on like what would you do for Superman? And just so you know, this is Julie. Julie was like, this might be a fun idea, and I was like, I got movies to talk about. Superman's top of my list right now. Are you willing to share,
Oh,
or is
yeah.
that considered like trade secrets where you're like, hey, listen, I'm not just going to give you this.
No, actually, I discussed what Superman's diet probably
And I vow not
would
to
be.
steal this. I'll call you if I have any big ideas.
Done. Okay, so Superman he grew up, he's a farm boy. So definitely have to have something with corn. I'm
Mm.
thinking like, old school Johnny cakes, because he's an older guy, right? He
Yeah.
appreciates the old school things. He's got to have a very high protein diet because of all of I'm assuming he's got to spend a lot of calories. and what
Tons,
he's-
I bet.
Right? I bet he moves his index finger, it's like 5,000 calories. So I'm thinking also he's going to want, Midwestern, beef. He's going to want like a 12-ounce ribeye steak, or actually for him, it'd be like 20-ounce ribeye steak. And then, because he's old school, yeah, the time when, we knew he grew up, at least in my mind, from the comic books.
Yeah.
I would say he'd want like a red eye sauce, like an old school Coca-Cola red eye sauce where you like have the ham steak, you sear that, add a little bit of onion to
Mm.
glaze with Coca-Cola,
Yeah.
and
Very Americana.
very Americana.
That's very good. I'd work in. Well done. That's a
Oh,
skill
thank
set. You can tell that's from years of doing this. We'd have to do something. He's originally from Krypton, so we'd have to have some kind of alien dish. He has a dog named Crypto, so maybe we could work in something for like a little pup or something. I don't know if we can figure out. Now my brain's just running. This is too fun. You've really gotten into a great industry that you've kind of crafted. You've designed to make it possible to make even something like this happen. It's really fun.
I think all it is allowing that part of your brain that still is a kid to be a kid, right?
Yeah.
And really staying engaged with being able to play, to not be worried about going out, coloring outside of the lines, letting your imagination go. I mean, I grew up with all of these superheroes and characters that I wondered, like, does Wonder Woman wear? Like, she wears a real bra, right? Like, so,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, does she ever have problems with, her eyebrows? Does she have to, or Amazons not have to, like,
Yeah, like
fix her? Yeah.
when she's like shifting into superhero mode, like does she stop in the mirror and is like, okay, and like Superman, he has to get that curl just right. So is he like, okay, now I'm good. Now I
Yeah.
can go save the day.
Yeah, does he ever get chafed from the tights? Like those are things that I think about, which are probably a little too far out there. But I always thought, like, what do they actually eat? You see him eat certain things, right?
Mhm.
But I'm like, there's no way that just a burger is going to satiate his hunger. You know what I mean? At the
Yeah.
speeds he's flying, as fast as he can run. There's no way that a normal, 2,000 calories a day is going to sustain him. So,
Mhm.
like, where does he keep all this food? You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Is he
and
go to the
who-
bathroom a million times a day?
well, that's the other thing I'm wondering. Like,
yeah, my brain
Yeah.
can go there too. Like the real stakes.
is it alien poop? Does he
R-
poop like other people?
Does he have to store it like on the moon or something? Because it'd be dangerous if it was around. Like,
little green? Yeah.
I can't leave this. This would be radioactive.
Yeah, radioactive poops. Like, and nobody watches him eat these mass quantities of food, right?
Because they'd be like disgusted. Like
Yeah.
it would change the whole image.
Is he by himself, like crying? Is that why things didn't work out with him and Lana Lang, because she figured out like how much he was Clark?
Yeah, that's high school. That's
Yeah.
your deep cut.
Yeah, and she sneaks up on him. He's eating all this stuff. I mean, like, I've even thought about what was it? Empire Strikes Back.
Oh,
Do you ever wonder what he was actually eating when Luke was with Yoda?
oh, Like what? Oh, right. Who Luke was eating?
Yeah. What was he eating
Like
when
while he was in
swamp?
the whatever system.
Yeah.
My nerd fan. I'm not the deep Star Wars fan. You can tell I am, but not deep enough. Not the bodega system, but something like that is where
I
he's
can't remember.
he's like R2. We gotta head to the something system, and
something.
he was on Yoda's little swamp planet.
Yeah.
What was he eating? Like
I know.
he's running around carrying Yoda on his back. He had to eat.
Yeah. What are they eating?
Yoda soup or something. So I get it. Like, hey, Fantastic Four, that's coming out this year. We got Thunderbolts. We got there's just so much happening. And then next year, Avengers stuff is on the countdown again to the next big Avengers movies. With we have Doomsday, which is the return of Robert Downey Jr. coming back to play a villain, Doctor Doom in the MCU. Secret Wars is coming, and a lot more Spider-Man films with Tom Holland. So I'm just putting all this in your brain, Liz.
Oh, oh my gosh. Like that's all. When I go to watch these films, I'm already thinking of the menu and the cocktails.
Oh, I have to like this. I call that a problem sometimes. Like, try not to work right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'll watch this later for work, or I'm taking notes all the time during movies now. I'm sure you're like that too.
Oh yeah, or things that I didn't notice before. You know what I mean? I'm like, I actually have a notebook where I write it down. I'm like, this character said this. I never noticed that before. And like my husband will look at my notes and go, "What does this mean? What are you taking notes for these movies? We're not even showing them right now."
But you gotta be prepared. Like,
Yeah.
you're just keeping an inventory at this point,
just in case.
in case. And like, I use the digital notes, so I can always come back and search. I'm like, I need to be able to search for whatever I'm looking for.
Well, I mean,
Have I written this down yet? Essentially,
I'm going to be questioned about this at some point. I need to know this. My one issue right now is I haven't had enough Loki, and I don't know why. I haven't read anything about Loki coming back. I have a whole menu just
for seasons 1 and 2, the show. That's my top Marvel show. I rewatch that like insanely. I would just keep rewatching it, and it just keeps getting better.
I absolutely love the character but I thought it was genius. It was brilliant.
Yeah,
I couldn't get it. It's my favorite show too, and I'm like, why did you know what I mean?
They had so much happened with Jonathan Majors. He had that assault against his girlfriend, and they had to make a move. I was so impressed by like how quickly they did move, and I think they still they have set it up to be, I think, still something very grand.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to get your wish. Both of us are. We'll see more Loki.
I hope so.
It will we got to get the show again, because the show is just brilliant, but we're at least going to get him in some other Marvel stuff. He's going to have to play a role somehow. Like, again, if you haven't seen the show, go watch it.
Well, okay. All of my geek girlfriends, a lot of them are Thor. They're Team Thor.
Yeah.
I'm Team Loki.
Yeah.
I like Tom Hiddleston. I think he's, way more attractive.
Those are
and
two
way
of
more
my
interesting.
Those are two of my favorites. I always love characters that have the longevity to live like 10 or 20,000 years. I like that frame of mind of like, how could you actually live that long, and like what would happen, and I think it's brilliant. Man, you're a nerd. You're a nerd.
I'm
and it's a good thing now.
Yeah.
It used to be a dig, but it's like it's we like being nerds. We think it's like the cool thing to be nerds now.
Well, now everything that we love and enjoy is being embraced. And it's so exciting to me because things that were not cool back in the day are suddenly cool again, with how big Comic-Con is and all the cons that are popping up everywhere. When I was a kid, my mom dropped me off with her station wagon in front of, I think I told you this, Henry VIII for our con. And I had knitted my own little Doctor Who scarf before the internet, and so there wasn't a pattern, so I just I had it recorded on VHS, and I kept watching to try and count how many stripes and how big they were. And so I'm so excited now to be able to talk about this fun, awesome stuff in comic books, in film, in television shows, and things that before were kind of like, it was just a little tiny group of black sheep that liked it.
Yeah.
The little nerd cliques. And Now I feel like we're everywhere. We're embracing our nerddom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's almost like all the cool kids want to be involved now, and it's up to us if we let them in.
Yeah.
Is what I say.
like
You got to be on the list.
you got. What is your favorite comic book?
Right.
Yeah.
Name one fact about Superman, or you can't come
Or
in.
you can't come in. You're not allowed.
That's good though. That's kind of like the trivia element. You bring people into it. We're big on we do like welcome new fans. Like you want to get in on Star Wars, you want to get on Marvel. It's so overwhelming. So like that's the solution we try to be on this show is like catching people up quickly, giving you the key things of what you need to know. I think your events are part of that culture too, of just being like feeling like you're part of it all because you are part of it. That is your culture too. So it's brilliant.
We've had a lot of people say, this is the first time I've seen this film, and I had it with your food and the music and the trivia. Now it's kind of ruined it for me. When I
Right.
go home, I don't have all the, the crazy, live music and all the stuff happening, like it's not the same.
Tenacious Eats on DoorDash.
On Dory.
I'll take the Beetlejuice burger. I don't know.
We
I don't know what
actually
you did. Worms. I don't know.
worms, yeah. We tried to do Tenacious Eats right after the big shutdown for COVID. We tried to do one show. We did do it virtually. It was a success. But my husband and I, Chef Steve, drove all over the state of Missouri, state of Illinois, delivering, because there were a lot of people who were getting together in groups with their families. And I had to, through my licensing agreement, create portals for every single household that was going to be watching. It was The Wedding Singer.
Oh, wow.
So
What an undertaking.
I had to create individual passwords, portals, because, it was really cool that the licensing allowed me to do that.
All the devices type of thing. But it's like,
Oh, it was,
as long as you
yeah.
can control it. That's amazing that that's possible. And that you even found a solution during that time. Nice job on that. We all needed it more than ever then.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we were like ringing the doorbell going, "Hi, it's Chef Liz."
With your mask on, you're like,
like, I'm here to deliver your 5 courses for 4 people. And
wow.
we had all of the instructions, not only with the food, like how to reheat it, how, what I
I wish I
mean?
would have known you then. We would have zoomed you in and talked about that. We were down here a lot in COVID.
I felt like I should have, when I was meeting people door to door, I had no idea people were coming that far
Mm-hmm.
to see our shows. And that's what I really gained from that. I thought, oh my gosh, this person is driving, and they've come to multiple shows. They're driving 2-3 hours
It's an event.
to come in to see it. And that really opened my eyes. But when I got back to our house and I was, I had to do it at home, I'm cooking each course, and we went Facebook Live to do it. And, if people wanted to come back and watch the movie at their leisure, I would, I'm like, okay, this is course 1, this is course 2. Steve kept handing me cocktails. So like during the Facebook Live, and I mean, I think I was enjoying it a little too much at that point.
That's
Yeah.
great. You had a good
Yeah.
time. And you mentioned leisure. Now you can do these at work and leisure.
At work and leisure.
So it's like
yeah.
outside of your home. We're all back. It's so great. We're back in full swing, so come on out.
Yeah, it's so awesome. And everyone who has come, we've had a mix. Like half of our audiences, like for the last show, had been to Tenacious Eats shows before, and they were so excited to be back. And the other half of our audience had no idea what to expect.
Yeah.
They were brand new. I was so excited for both.
Yes,
ends,
I think that's where the moneymaker even is too, just to get everyone involved. You got to have like I said when we first started, the diehards and like the newbies. Can you appeal to everybody at once? I think you absolutely can.
Yeah.
Like we custom build our trivia bingo to be we'll serve you fans, but we're gonna make this middle of the road too, to where someone could probably be like, oh, I do. Iron Man was in that movie. I knew that.
Yeah.
And surprise themselves even.
And you want it to be accessible so you're not alienating, new people who aren't familiar with the films, the comic books. You don't want them to feel excluded.
Yeah.
Right? You want them to feel like they're welcome, because you do. You're like, this is really awesome to get into this. So I hope, you know what I mean? You want to start something.
What
And
about Dungeons and Dragons? You ever done Dungeons and Dragons yet?
no, not yet.
Have you? Have
Are
you?
you talking about the very old film from the 80s, or are you talking about the more recent?
Well, I guess I'm talking about the game that everyone plays, right? And I guess it's from maybe the original. See, like Scotty has played in Dungeons and Dragons forever,
I have two.
and then we have a friend here in town, Sam, the Dungeon Master, Sam the DM. Maybe you've heard of him. He does
Yes, I have.
live shows at City Winery and some other places. So I feel like that would, I'm seeing that mashup of you and Sam.
I have played, let's see, D&D since I was probably 11.
Oh my gosh! So
think.
you're a lifer.
Right. Well, and I haven't played in a while. I haven't had any friends that had a campaign in a few years, but I'd like to play again. Our oldest son, Aaron, had a great campaign a while back, so he's really big into Dungeons and Dragons. But I've had a character I've been working on for a long time. She's half orc, named Flower.
Oh my gosh! You are.
So
You're talking to we are D&D on here. They're listening, and Scotty's mad that he's not here right now. He's mad.
well,
he'd probably be offering you to come play. Like, and
Oh, I
Sam,
love it.
that's Sam's whole thing is trying to help groups of people play.
I mean, and like when we all got older, as adults, and you have adult responsibilities, and it's like if somebody couldn't make it, we'd turn them into a magical pony. If they couldn't make it to you're a magical pony.
So the answer is yes. You would definitely do a D&D.
Oh yeah,
themed
that'd be
event.
great. Yeah, I would love that. I'm so open to just experimenting and having fun. Like Clue, we actually hid weapons in the room for a guest to find, and inside we did give them weapons. We gave them the candlestick, the wrench, the gun, not a real gun. We gave away the knife, everything, but we also had screening passes for another film for a guest to come to see. But they were hidden all over Work and Leisure. And the way Work and Leisure is, they have all these cool little nooks and crannies and places where you could just kind of chill. So we hid them all over the building. It was so much fun to watch adults like leave their table quietly. Like
I'm gonna go look. I did a scavenger hunt at the City Museum once, and it felt very like that. We're a bunch of adults just looking around.
Yeah, and they're trying to be sly, like they don't. I'm going to the bathroom.
How about the bear?
You
could do fancy, but they kind of cook. They cook real food. So do you like recreate the beef sandwiches? Maybe, I don't know. Did you see the bear?
I've watched the first season.
Okay, I'm sure people bring this up to you because it's like a cooking show.
Yeah. I have a hard time with it because I honor it because it's very realistic in some aspects. In a lot of aspects, it's very realistic. And sometimes it's not enjoyment to watch because I start to feel stressed.
That's what Scott says. He gets too stressed. He's like, and I get like I'll feel like my tension. I'm like, hey, this isn't me. Like, it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, there are like there was an episode where he was staring at the clock and then gets distracted with this, and somebody needs this and they need this and da 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 da, and then he's behind a dumpster smoking, and then he's doing this and looking at the clock, getting ready for service, and that's very realistic. So I don't get enjoyment.
Yeah, it might not be. It'd be a stress. Like you could make it to be like come to be stressed.
Yeah.
Okay, these are the last ones I'll throw at you. Lost, Breaking Bad, and Game of Thrones. Those would be good. You don't need to say anything about them, but those are ones you should do. I maybe say something. Have you thought about those?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Okay, Chef Liz Schuster at Tenacious Eats. Follow her at Tenacious_Eats on Instagram. And give us your website one more time.
It's going to be www.tenaciouseatsstl.com.
Awesome. Liz, thank you so much for coming in. Chef Liz. I feel like with that title, you should have your white hat on all the time. If you're Chef Liz, have your spoon.
I kind of feel more like a super villain, or little Loki like. I want to be in black, like sometimes I'm good, sometimes I'm not so good. So,
I can see some local artist renderings happening. That's probably in your future with all the fandoms you're a fan of. The collaborations are endless. Again, very, very impressed with you.
Oh, thank you.
Congrats on everything. can't wait to see what you do next, and would
And
love to collab sometime.
I need to come to one of your events. I can't wait.
Yeah, I would love that. Come to a
Yeah.
Screen and Social. Yeah, we'll be at Alamo this year. We'll be at Four Hands. You'll be at Work and Leisure. Anywhere else in town that you're scoping out or that you're going to be at?
Gosh, I don't know if I should give it away.
It's okay. Is that a teaser?
Well,
Maybe somewhere else.
I'll give you a hint. It's underground. And
Oh man, okay. I mean, I won't guess because I don't think you don't want to spoil it yet. But you have.
I don't. It's underground.
So there's an announcement maybe on the horizon.
And another thing, possibly Jason, Michael Myers, Freddie might be involved.
And when you're listening to this one, the ones that are right around the corner, again, the reception, that is February 14th and 15th at Work and Leisure, and The Office, March 22nd at Work and Leisure. Tenacious Eats, it's all happening. Chef Liz, thank you again.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. Come back.
I will, I promise.
Mostly Superheroes is proud to be funded in part by our sponsors. Mostly Superheroes is funded in part by paying patrons who receive early, ad-free, and exclusive episodes. Subscribe at mostlysuperheroes.com/support. Thank you for supporting your favorite independent podcast. Mostly Superheroes is an independent podcast owned and operated by Kerrigan Ventures in St. Louis, Missouri. Hosted by Logan Janis, Andy Hunn, and Scott Swearingen. Brand and creative by Carrie Clark Design. Music by Audionautics. Learn more at audionautics.com. Find more at mostlysuperheroes.com.